Hello, you asked how I made this tree, and I'll be happy to show it to you. First, I made a kind of art yarn with a wire in it, and to make this, first I took a very thin wire, metal thread, and plied it with a brown, already spun wool yarn, rather thin, so that I had one long wire that was sort of, there was a little grip to it since I had plied it with the wool. And then I made an art bat with various brown fibers like coarse merino, 26 micron, and I had some cariad, and I had some brown wool from hobby store, I don't know what it is, and I had a little silk, a little tencel, lyocell, and some silk noil. You can put in whatever you want, and I have flax as well, brown colored, brown dyed flax. And then I core spun that art bat with this sort of core with the metal thread and the wool yarn. So core spun that, and then I had originally planned to just ply it with that thin wool yarn, but there was enough left from my art bat to spin a thin thread to ply this with. So if you zoom in here, Alina, my daughter is filming. So you see it is kind of an art yarn in different brown shades. And you can see that makes all the textures, make it look like the tree. So I took the inspiration from videos online of how to make these with just metal thread. And I thought, wouldn't that be cool to make with wool? And this is around 40 threads. And for this length of a tree, I have taken, I think it's about the size as a postcard, a little longer than a postcard. Just take whatever you have, depending on how long you want, how tall you want your tree. And of course you can make it more narrow, you can make it thicker. And I thought I'd try to make a taller tree. So I'm using my my calendar for this. So about 40, I think. So Tjugotre, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I had to count in Swedish. So this is 40, and then I can sort of feel, this is the half thickness of the branch or of the stem. I have to excuse my English, I don't know all the words for these details on trees. In Sweden we were taught that it was a tree and a branch, that's it. So I think twice this thickness will be okay. So 40 for this tree. And I cut it open. And the metal thread I use, it's just a very thin one that I bought. It's a dark, I think it was black. So that if it doesn't get covered, then it's okay. I wouldn't want like a neon pink for this. Yeah, I think this is thick enough. And I saw someone on YouTube, they had this little, what do you call it? They clip this together in some way, but I think I'll manage without. And here should the roots be, and here are the branches. So I'm just starting to twist. I'm going to cut these open later. I'm twisting twisting, and around here I think it would look great with a little branch on itself. So I'm twisting that, and I continue twisting this and divide it again. I don't count anything here. I just feel that this should be okay. Twist that, twist a little here, and divide and twist. I try to twist like from me, just so I remember which direction I'm working in. And this I don't, as I said, I don't count anything. I just go by instinct on these. And I just made this up yesterday night. I set up after midnight doing this twist. So maybe I or someone else will find a much better way to do it. So here you have the basic idea for the stem and the branches. This will need a little bit more dividing and twisting. But here's that basic shape. And now twist a little bit more. And to keep this, I can needle felt a little. And of course there are 40 metal stems in here, so be careful, or take one of these, if you have a needle that's a little bent or a little dull, you can use that. And you can also work this very, very shallow light. And then you cut the roots. And you do the same thing there. Take a little bunch and you twist it. and divide and twist. And when I've done that, I could needle felt a little here. Just to keep it together a little bit more. So what takes time is making this yarn. That took me several hours. So I will work later with these, making them a little nicer, more like this. But you get the point now. And for the tips, you could attach like leaves or beads. I have several ideas what I could do with this, but to just show you a bare tree for late autumn or winter. You could also, of course, add a little white in your pour yarn, in your art yarn, to make it look like a little bit of snow. I think that would be cool. I think I'll do that. And then I have some diluted Paverpol, or you can use any kind of white glue for this, like wood glue. Just dilute it a little bit. And I dip my fingers, and then I twist the end a little. And if one is too long, you can just cut it a little. And you can see the metal thread here and there, but since it's black, it doesn't really matter. So that's why I don't want to use like a red thread as a core. You perhaps could be beautiful with a copper. And then when I am done with this, and when it has all dried and become clear, then I could, if I want, take a pair of scissors and just snip off just the tip. You see where the fibers are sort of just a very, very thin thread. You could snip that off if you like. And then you can play with shaping this however you want. You can make a little owl sitting there. Oh, now I want to make an owl. I want to make an owl sitting there. You can have so much fun with it. You could even have it like, you could use this as well, like a ring hanger. Or you can have it as a decoration. My husband, when he saw this, he said, you know where that's going to go, right? Of course, with his Warhammer models. It was just perfect in his graveyard. So that's a very, very simple way to do this amazing trees. I have to say to myself that this was beyond my expectations, and it's so much fun, and I have so many ideas how I could make these trees. And of course, if you want to play with it even further, you could add a lot of colors and fibers and glitter, and well, just have fun with it. Thanks.